Hello and welcome to episode 15 of our Timberborn 1.0 Waterbeavers playthrough, cycle 15 at day 5, in the middle of a temperate cycle here. And last episode we did a bunch of small improvements, got some zip lines connected, and, contrary to what I was attempting to do, didn't really solve that much in the way of food. Even though this number is larger, it's still almost entirely rice balls. So we need to, probably more than anything else, make a bunch of more mushroom growers. And a couple people have been suggesting to various degrees of intensity that I should return to making cereal bars. But remember, cereal bars require all these things that we don't have a lot of right now, and they also need to go into the library to make science. So I don't know that that is specifically the best solution at this exact time. But we have options. We have a lot of stuff that we really should do. And I think this area right here is probably primed for some development. All we have to do is connect with some bridges, and I know the 2 is not going to be long enough to get across the way here, but I did want to show that it's not going to be that easy for us to do this, because the path isn't going to connect underneath this little exhaust thing here, and for us to actually connect all the way over here is going to require, I believe... Did that just attach to the side of this? It absolutely did. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 length to get to here, which, without coming around the other side is going to be how long it has to be to connect to this, because I can't put anything here without having direct access to this block. I can't just build a bridge here and then put a bridge on top of a block or a platform or something on this side, because they have to place a platform first. Anyway, you know how it works, and if you don't, well, now you know. But suffice to say, we are going to have to figure something out, because this is, there's nothing going on here. This is prime space for this. So we're going to see what happens. It's not even really that close from here either. But we did put in some lumberjacking over here. I think this is probably still going to be a decent place for us to farm brambles. I am going to modify this cutting pattern. Just so that we can, at least, up here in the range that this can access. I would like for this to be still kind of infinitely farmable. So we know that's not going to be there. I just want to be able to, keep using this. Regular trees here, probably a good idea. But I need somewhere to put more mushrooms. I do not have mushroom for mushrooms. Workshop over here is in the process of making some anvils, which still collecting resources for that. I don't know how I ran out of... Oh, it already made one. Okay. Well, never mind then. I guess that's not really a problem. Had somebody suggest that I put in a gravity battery over here next to or attached to this area's power shaft, because this is only outputting 100 HP because it's water beavers, so of course it has an output 400. And this consumes 200. So it is still working, albeit slightly less so. And if we want it to be more efficient, then obviously we have to give it full power. But regardless, just because, and it's a very roundabout way of me saying this, it's been a very long day, folks, but the beavers stopped for nobody. I think probably this is still a decent goal to get this attached across here. Even if it can't connect to the workshop directly, because this would be kind of achievable for more mushroom growing. We could also, since we have a bunch more connections here, have a branch line going out here. All sorts of options. But before I commit, I do want to make sure. So that would be a 4 and a 3. I'm not going to get by with just researching 1. That is unfortunate, because that is... Okay, it's really not that much science, honestly. I shouldn't be that worried about it. And we are going to use these for other places we'll talk about. So maybe, yeah, put a 3 here. And then I guess the other side could be the 4. So, we're going to have them start working on that. And then, I know this is currently blocking the way. Don't worry. But you know what? I'm not going to be held hostage by my failure to do something correctly the first time, so we're just going to let it ride. We're going to get across here, And then I think this is going to be prime territory for mushroomification. Now, in terms of zipline stations, I don't know that I really want to do too much over here besides food making, but depending on how we want to do our tower situation, I remember that this regular zipline station only has 2 connections, but the tower one has 4 connections. So if we had a regular tower building and a triangle building and we put this on top, then we could have 4 connections and do a whole bunch of other stuff. We do have the option in a bunch of these places to put something like a forge that is a triangle building, and not necessarily a bad thing to just kind of have somewhere. There's also all these wood buildings. We already kind of talked about that. Food-wise, there's farms. There's other things. This is, irrigated space. Is it going to be perfectly irrigated forever? No, just objectively not the case. But what if, since there's brambles over here, what if we put, and I know we had this whole discussion last time about, you got to put something the right way. What if we put another lumberjack's barn here so that could reach most of these things? And then attached to it, we had another simple tower building like an irrigation lodge. And then attached to that, we did the same thing that we've done over, well, I guess the same thing we're doing here as soon as this gets finished. So I think that would be a worthwhile thing to do. It might not be the thing we do at this exact moment in time, but before things get too crazy, I do think I want to try. Of course, this is not flippable because it should not be flippable. This right here would extend... get it? It would extend what we're able to do reasonably. I don't think that would be a problem. I just have to make sure that I get things popped in nicely. It doesn't necessarily have to be here either. I could move this over to where this is going to give us a little bit more space. In fact, this looks pretty good here. But that does also kind of defeat the purpose of me putting mushroom growers over here because, hey, there's no arable land. Well, at any rate, I'm thinking maybe here's a good compromise. I don't know. Feel free to disagree. That is always allowed and also extremely likely. But need to make sure I have these. This really, like, I understand why the game is the way it is, and you can't always do whatever. But like, why is this flippable? Because it breaks so much stuff. Anyway, I got to move on, or I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just going to go ahead and come on. Click. Thank you. That is just, it's going to solve so many problems. So many problems. Except that one. Well. Okay, hold on. What about... Oh, good. Oh, man, I was about to lose it if that didn't connect. All right. See, that has a range of here to here, and then this would also theoretically extend the... okay, anyway. So that guy could go to here, and then this guy could go as long as it reaches to here. Well, that's a big fat no. Okay, new idea. What if I also allowed this to connect across here, but I can't until I get brambles out of the way, unless I have a one-sided, what do you call it? Okay, now I have decisions to make. Also, I need to test something. I think at this point I've kind of forgotten exactly what it is I was going to do. That... No way! Is that actually going to work? Okay, good. Because I might actually have to do that. Okay, because, yeah, man, I really want them to be able to access more of this area. And I don't know exactly where I want it to go. Maybe I should have rotated this, or maybe I'm just losing it even more than I thought I already was. Well, I don't know. I need to figure my life out is what I need to do here. Let's just get this hooked up here so they can work on that in the background. Let's preemptively put in mushroom growers so I'm not in a horribly stupid situation. Okay, that's not going to be possible to put anything there. Just trying to see if I should, you know, do one of these numbers. Turn this, turn this. Range irrigable is... Okay, that's going to kill a little bit of it, but that's fine. I just really need to have access to more mushroom growers, and they need to be able to actually get put in places. In terms of planting trees, I do not want wild brambles to come all the way over here, so I do want to make sure that these are planting in areas that I would otherwise be using for brambles. These here, just because this allows me to put 2 in that exact spot, and then as this gets improved, I guess I could do something else there, but having 2 of these here is probably about the best I can do. I can't put anything here, so 4 of these. I know I'm giving these guys a lot of stuff to do. We got to solve all the problems eventually. Might as well just put them down now and then worry about putting out fires when they happen. The reason I wanted to have this in the middle here is because I need to have storage for mushrooms as they are produced, which, guess what can go there? And then if I take this bramble out, which I believe, since I have ledge logging enabled, if I just have that one set to be cut, and I have some sort of lumberjack, like, say, this guy, then maybe they can take that one out. I don't know. We're going to see what happens, but that is going to have to be, I think, a location for another thing of water. I know this is already kind of messed up. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. You already know. Just takes time, and I have to be able to do what I have to be able to do. Okay, this is getting full. I got more of these trees coming down. I know we need to plant more stuff. I'm attempting to get that accomplished. But you know that it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's get that moved out. Sunflower seeds. I guess I do need to have a storage for that, but it doesn't have to be right here. Maybe we solve that problem later. Still got some range here. I probably do need to remove some of these Everblossoms, but right now I just need to get these numbers up. Yeah, just a lot to think about right now. Okay, this guy's got nothing to do because there's no planting that's happening. This is not going to be connected until this is finished. And this is waiting on tar. I don't think I'm making tar. I am not. I'm making brain-boosting salts. Well, not anymore. Now it's tar time. Which brings me back here to the workshop. Maybe I should be making another set of laboratory glassware as soon as I can, which you already know requires that we research and build the medium mine, which requires that we have somewhere to put it. Where, oh where, are we going to put a medium mine? Scientists still are not sure, but like there has to be somewhere I can stick this thing. Aside from right here, which might have actually been the only possible correct answer in this entire map, but there's gotta be. I mean, like, I know I gotta blast it out, but this would maybe not be a horrible place to do it, just based on what I know I have to blast out and the required space to have access to everything. It's just not a very enviable position that I have placed myself into. And I hate to just keep pushing it off because we're never going to get it done if I don't just do it. But I gotta be able to put it somewhere that it's actually going to fit, which I don't have. Not yet. I know there's other places. I mean, I got a lot I got to think about here. Okay, another thing that was suggested that I do is put in access from this lumberjack's barn as close as possible to the other side of the river. And, you know, width-wise, there's not a lot that I can do except to put, like, here over to here. Which, you might be saying, well, why would you do that? You can't walk through the... Well, water beavers, no, you can. You can totally walk through the suspension bridge, which, objectively, not gonna lie, is kind of hilarious that that's even possible. But I really... If I'm gonna expand my range as much as I feasibly can, then I think it needs to go basically in a straight line from the lumberjack and the forester. which, if you're keeping track at home, is this tile right here, right in the middle. So if we go ahead and preemptively unplant all of these, I don't think I can pre-place... There's no way. There's no way. Alright, well, there you go. I don't know how, but sure, why not? Why not? Let's just not think about it too hard. At the risk of, you know, things just being incredibly stupid. I'm gonna unplant this because I do need, you know, this guy to be tapping. Maybe this should be a, maybe it should be a house instead. Oh, now that I'm back, this is gonna be the worst video, I swear. Yeah, okay, we're doing this for the purpose of the power shaft. Someone also said, you know what, you can, wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to be really careful with this. Someone said, you know, you can delete the platforms that this leaves behind, but now I'm really concerned. Because the amount of materials that it's saying I'm going to recover is greater than what I spent, and it's different materials. Like, waste rock and dirt. Where is... We did not use waste rock or dirt to build the tunnel. So, I'm not willing to do this in a video without testing it, so I guess I'm not doing that today. But that, to me, based on the materials involved, suggests that it's going to collapse this? I know that my understanding of the game would make me believe that that shouldn't be possible. However, this is water beavers. Things don't make sense. Even if they make sense. So, I'm kind of afraid to try, so maybe we won't. Anyway, moving on. How close is this to overflowing? Not very. That's fine. Yeah, see, we still... This is also why I'm not doing cereal bars until this is fixed. We do not have the materials to make them. It does not matter how good they are, I cannot make them. I'm trying, though. If they can, you know, ever get anything done. So what are they building that's so important they haven't gotten to this yet? I don't know, besides this. Which, even if they didn't have the materials, they should be building something else. It shouldn't even be a question about it. Well, at any rate, I guess we just have to wait and see. I asked you guys about putting the paper mill over here, and it seems like most people are kind of in agreement that this is a good spot. It's also not really a very easy thing to get stuck in terms of power. Although, this right here is already a horizontal T intersection. So if I placed this, say, right here, I could very, very, very easily just put in an upward power shaft going right like this, and then an upward or downward right there, and they could already just have that built. And then when I have this researched, I can just put that there. And the only question at that point is, how do I get the beavers up there? And then, you know, of course, the answer to that is stairs. So I think that might be our best option. And before I forget, I'm going to place this in. If you don't like it, yell at me now, and then maybe if it's not done by the time this episode is finished, I'll have a chance to not build it and do something else that you think is better. But at this point, these guys have a lot of stuff to do that they are not doing, and I need to figure out why, because it can't, surely it cannot be that they're just waiting for this to be finished. Builder's Queue, please. I know there's a mod. I really don't want to break water beavers, so I'm not going to install it in this playthrough. But please, Mechanistry, if by chance you are watching these videos, Builder's Queue, at least I don't even need to be able to modify. I just need to know the order of stuff. That would be so helpful. All right. Other stuff. Okay, scrapyard. I have notes written down. You can't see them. But the scrapyard absolutely has to have access to the upper levels to be able to remove, well, scrap. So they do need a staircase there. We need to be processing the scrap hopefully, a little bit faster so we can actually, you know, make stuff. I need more coal so I can make more anvils. I already have scrap metal in here, but I think, based on how long it's taking to get this coal, yeah, 1.7 hours. I'm gonna just swap this over to metal blocks, because this will still use that coal that we've been accumulating, but it's gonna give us metal blocks, which we can use for so many other things. Including, but not limited to, ladders, which I know are still a very, very, very long ways off. But it's going to be okay. Why have you not built this yet? I am perplexed. I need one more tar. I have tar. So once again, I turn to the builders and ask them, dude, what gives? Is there like some other thing that I've tasked them to do that I just forgot about? And I'm not going to know because there's not a builder's queue. Who knows? I think I've kind of gone through the first 20 minutes of this episode in like a manic panic over here trying to figure out what I need to be doing, so I have directly addressed everything that I had on my notes, at least that I thought was going to be worth bringing up in this video. I know we've got paper mill locking this up, scroll display, etc., but I just need this science at this point. Which, again, we need more berries. We need to be producing more berries. So maybe this is a thing where if I have enough sawdust, which seems like I do, I can be making berries. However inefficient it is, I should be making berries. Plant fibers to be used for ropes. I do not have any plant fibers. I'm also, I don't think, making plant fibers? Where is the other... Did I get rid of it? Oh, okay, it's under this. Alright. I do not have ropes because I do not have plant fibers. Well, I'm not making ropes. Where's my... Okay, I've got 40. I probably need to have this still going. Let's compare rates here. Okay, 1 plant fiber every 3 hours is what that's consuming. And this makes 1 plant fiber every 12. So really I need... If I want this to be non-stop, which it doesn't necessarily matter, I do need both, or at least 2 floors, not necessarily both of these, producing plant fibers. But that's using sunflower seeds, and despite continuing to add more, it's probably never going to be enough until I get to the clockwork... I still have those, right? Yes. Yep, okay. Wait a minute, I have to check this again. Good. Because I remember there being more of these. Yeah, there was one with Everblossoms in it. We still have cabbages, we still have sunflowers, still have green peas, still have rice, and still have nenufars. But not the trees. Tree nursery is a very important thing. Oh, they're not giant sequoias, they're golden sequoias. Unless... Oh, no, this still says giant sequoias. We'll need a bunch of this stuff. That's in like 30 episodes. We're not going to worry about that. Okay, seriously, what are my builders doing? What in the world are they doing? Because nothing has gotten built. Okay, we're going to follow this guy. Carrying logs. Where are you taking the logs? You are taking the longest possible... Ah. Okay, never mind. They're building the tunnel. That's what's happening. Okay, now I feel a little stupid, but not that stupid. Just mostly stupid. Okay. Well, at least I have some idea of what was happening here. I'm going to preemptively, just in case, put in a T-intersection there. In case I want to put a building here that processes stuff. But the rest of this can just be left alone, I think. Yeah, I think the only thing I might actually want to put over here would probably be a screw press, and that is... Oh, that's the wrong spot. Okay, well, tell you what. Is there a reason for me to be doing this? Probably not. But, wait a minute. No, I don't want that. Okay, an explanation was made as to why this behaves this way, and it's not any fault of the mod developer. But, man, is this confusing. How do I want to... Okay, good. That's what I needed to know. Alright, now that can be connected there. Now they've got this on the mind here. I just need to know what they're going to be doing next. This is about to flood, is it? It's getting close. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Alright, you are carrying 3 ropes. Where are you going with the ropes? You're taking this to... Okay, now they're building this. I was wondering what in the world was keeping them from doing that. Let's, for the time being, just put a pause on this aquifer drill because this is about to overflow anyway. Oh, good. This is connected. Very, very, very good. Now they're going to have access to this hopefully sometime soon. Stuff on the ground they may or may not pick up. I'm going to have to just prioritize it or else it's going to be lost forever. Bramble flowers. It's okay. It's 8 of those. It's worth picking up. The rest of these things. Still don't know where I want to put a bridge across here, but I think at this point I don't need to be worried about it. These wood fences don't need to be here. I think, and it's really dumb of me not to have figured this out before now, but, you know, it comes with the territory. Dynamite is a thing that exists. And I can just flatten this. Now, granted, I don't currently have a lot of explosives, but I can make my own flat area. And, many times at this point in the comments, it has been expressed to me that I should start trying to clear out some of this space to increase the amount of usable space in the crater. We will see what we can get ourselves into. But I need to be making more paper, and part of that is putting this thing in here. Which I guess I have the science to do now? Was I saving science for something else? I feel like now I'm... You know what? Nope, I don't have time to think. I just need to do it. That is going to get built here. That's going to be connected, and then I just need to get this... Oh, I need to unlock platforms, regular platforms. I've got 52 of these. I don't have the science anymore. I got tons of logs, it doesn't matter. We're at the point now where I just need to do something. It doesn't have to be the perfect solution. It just has to be a solution. Okay. Paper mill. What gets consumed in the paper mill? Sawdust, water, pine resin, gear. So all of these things need to have some sort of storage in this general vicinity. Unfortunately, this is underwater, which means I will need access to some sort of non-flooded storage, which these buildings do not like that. Thank you, autosave. So I really should be researching the regular platform, double platform, because then I can actually have a bridge come across here and then just put some storage in a place like this. This is just where this had to go to make the most sense. I understand it is not the best thing ever. It's going to be okay. We just gotta do what we gotta do. And I don't really have good access here. I know there's a bunch of ways we could rearrange this, but at some point in the future we'll have to mess with that when we can actually do that without, you know, actively making other stuff worse. How are we doing? Okay, good. They're across here. They have built the irrigation lodge. And I am assuming, yeah, mushroom growers coming first, which we do desperately need. This is built. Lumberjack's barn is going to be jacking lumber just as soon as we make it possible. I do think that it's going to be to our benefit to have this as concentrated as possible on just eliminating brambles, so I can expand to do more tree planting. Yes, I understand the lumberjack's barn cannot plant trees. But remember, we have the forester, which can be put down to where it can plant items. And then the trees can just kind of go from there. I just have to decide if I'm putting more lumberjack stuff here, lumberjack mushroom growers, or if I want to try to reclaim this area on this side. I don't know. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to think about. Long term, we just need more trees. So the maximum reach, if I put this here, goes to that spot. I think probably I should be building as much as I can within range of the lumberjack's barn. I can always delete a forester and put more stuff somewhere else. But the range of this goes to this little jog right here. Which means if I want a... right there. If I want something, I have to put this in this spot to plant all the way out there. And then it will have to be continuously planted. I don't know that that is a great thing to have this just right here constantly. But I want it to be mostly usable. Maybe I will just maybe I'll just do it. Just say, you know what, who cares? Right? Just trying to think, is there any other way I would want to do upgrades or anything? Yeah, it just has to be in a usable spot. And then you also might be thinking, well, why didn't you put the forester right here where you put the irrigation lodge? Well, you know, sometimes brain no work. Sometimes it just be like that. I think this is probably about the best I can do. And now water for the irrigation lodge could also serve the mushroom growers, so maybe, no reason to pause this, maybe we just put, instead of trying to worry about this, we just put the water tank right here and just have them do a slightly longer detour. These only grow once every 4 days. This is prime plantable land. Don't do that. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. We got tons of space. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of space to grow stuff. So let's leave that alone for now. We are growing mushrooms. We're growing more mushrooms. Eventually our food will improve. This is not even remotely a thing yet. It looks like this suspension bridge is going to be the next thing we finish. Okay. That will help, hopefully. I do have to get this path put in here. Also, there's a lot of ruins here that we could get rid of and then slowly grow more stuff, but, you know, we have to be able to do stuff with the scrap metal. And in all of this time that I've spent, you know, insane, out of my mind, we've made 20 metal blocks, which we now do not have anywhere to put. So, I'm going to place, drought incoming, a little bit of metal block storage right here, just to alleviate some of that. We got 3 days. The amount of water that is in here is not as much as I thought it was going to be. Let's turn that back on. Okay, they still haven't built either of these because they're doing all these other things, but it's very important to get these going. Yep. Okay, so we technically almost doubled our mushroom production, which, you know, you're probably going to say it's not enough, and yeah, you're probably right. But we're making progress. And progress matters. Storage for bramble flowers, probably fine. Somebody said I should, you know, pause the lumberjack's barn so we can get these things to grow back. Honestly, as long as these guys have something to cut, even if there's only a few of these available, I think it's going to be fine. These grow back fast enough. Should not be that big of a concern. Who's got no goods selected? Ah, that's supposed to be for mushrooms. And we need a pile for sawdust. And now, okay, that's one of these things I wanted them to get rid of. Okay, they're not, seems like, cutting this, even though I specifically asked them to, and I have the mod that does ledge logging. Which leads me to believe somebody's a liar. So, yeah, see, I can't do anything like that, and I can't even get them down here, so this is kind of a bust in terms of usable space. Which is a shame. But all I can do at this point is, until I get a long tiny pile unlocked, which I'm not using science on right now, I can just make some sawdust storage here. That'll help these guys out. Okay, they haven't even built this yet. That's fine. That's fine. It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your child is? Well, it is dawn. Do you know where your builders are? So we're going to follow one. Which is probably something I should do a lot more of. Oh, wow, look at these guys go. Okay, they're carrying logs. This one is, at least. We'll need to replant these in a moment. Where are you taking these logs? And why in the world did you take that circuitous path? You're carrying nothing. Okay, where are you going? You nothing carrier. Wow, that was a really stupid path to take to get planks. Did I really make him do that? Okay, that is now flooding. We'll have to turn that off, but I'm too invested in what this guy's doing. You're going to take those planks all the way... Wow, seriously? That's the path you have to take? And yes, I hear you. I know there's at least one person who's very, very adamant that my pathing is bad. I understand, and you are not wrong. Please always tell me when things are bad. However, comma, I had not realized how completely horrendous they were until this exact moment. Yeah, see, the way that I have these power shafts going, I can't really come across here. We'll get it fixed eventually, but man, that is just ghoulishly bad. Okay, well, we will have to do something about that now, won't we? Okay. One, not like a tremendous fix, but one help we can do is put stairs here. So they don't have to go around and then cut off and then go way back here. Also, zip lines across the crater are going to help a lot with that. We just have to be able to get to that point. What's our range? Okay, that's pretty good. And it's the same exact range next door. See, this is exactly what I should have done. I should have put the irrigation somewhere else. In fact, did they already build the tower on top of that? No, they did not. Okay, we still have time. Okay, so this has been renamed, which is unfortunate because the old name was hilarious. The old name was Super Fertilizing Irrigation Tower Bath or whatever it was. This is the Irrigating Elevated Public Bath now. And this does give a plus 15% to plant growth. I don't think that includes trees. But yes, this is a superior irrigation station that also provides fun and basic needs. And, oh, this is almost done. Decisions. The zipline station modifier would still be here. I would just replace the irrigation lodge with a forester. And then I could put this other thing. This has a pretty good range, too. I'm going to have to take this somewhere else to show it to you. But you see how far that goes? I don't... There's, like, no flat land anywhere on this whole map. This has... Anyway, you get what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this has ridiculous range. So me placing that, say, right here would actually... Well, right here would almost make the entire thing growable. But yeah, putting this somewhere in this area would actually be kind of... Yeah, okay. Oh, man, I don't know. Now I kind of want to get rid of this, but I... Well, I don't have the blueprint anyway, so I think the thing that's going to make the most sense right now is just to finish this. Just be done with it. Oh, I know a problem that's occurring. We don't have metal fasteners. We don't have metal fasteners. We ran out. And I demolished the thing so that I could build a workshop. We do have another anvil, though, so we can rebuild it. Just have to decide if we want forge versus primitive ironworks. There's no change in productivity. It's the same time. Same amount of beavers can work there, except this is also a house, also a levee, also a triangle building. So it has some more versatility. And I think, based on how this is currently set up, it might make sense for me to get this research done and just, even if it's not going to be used for like an upgrade thing, just put one of these over here because we have scrap metal. I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, I'm just really curious about this building in general. So there you go. That's going to be using metal fastener, or going to be making metal fasteners, excuse me. I just need to make sure I check the recipe. Okay, so scrap metal storage. I guess technically this counts as scrap metal storage. We just need piles for everything else, and that's probably... I'm trying to do way too much at once. We need coal, we need scrap metal, and we need logs. Those are 3 main things here, but we have scrap metal over there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put coal, and I'm going to put log storage. No, we have log storage already there. Okay, we don't need that. Don't need that. I'm instead going to make little tiny tiny warehouses. Crappy warehouse or small warehouse? Small I can build on top of, even if it doesn't really matter. Just gonna do that. I don't think I need to worry about... Okay, we do actually need saw blades. Saw blades don't go in this building anyway. Why can I not think of anything? Okay, tools. Tools. And then I guess I'll just have to put a pile here for the saw blades. Alright. That's what's going to go here. It's fine. We don't need to worry about it. Just let it be what it's going to be and don't worry about anything else. Alright. Ever blossoms. I know we got more and more stuff that has to get cut down. Trying. Genuinely doing my best here. This probably needs to be a prioritized construction. Do I have tools? Okay, you know what? I just have to prioritize. Of course the forge needs... My god. Forge needs metal fasteners. Alright. Zipline station has to be removed so I can get the metal fasteners to build the thing that makes more metal fasteners so I can finish building this. Ugh. Okay, first of all, how did this... Alright, whatever. I'm just not going to ask any questions at this point. Just got to let these guys do what they've got to do. Got 1 day left. Food has still not reasonably improved. Cereal bars would make it worse. I did not plant anything here. These need to be ever blossoms. This is going to be very, very not irrigated shortly. These are marked for cutting. Of course they are. Good. So I just wanted to get something like this going. I could do irrigation over here, but 9 days is not going to kill the trees, and I don't think it's really worth worrying about that much when we already have this fully irrigated. We've got other stuff mostly taken care of. Yeah, see, this is still fine. This is maybe a little bit less so. I probably should be planting more trees here, but you know how it goes. What are we waiting on? Pine resin. I know I have pine resin. That should not be a problem. And if I don't have it, then I can get it. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay. Okay, metal fasteners. I see what you're attempting to do here. I see what you're doing. Okay, so this... Alright. I got builders who cannot... I cannot prioritize anything else. I'm going to drive these builders insane. We just have to actually have more builders. I've got 3 here, and I've got 4 here, and they are, you know, run ragged within an inch of their lives and then some. So maybe we just let them do what they've got to do, huh? Okay, I want to make sure that I can get as many trees planted as I possibly can without these brambles getting in the way. So that's fine. Having the zipline station connected to this is going to be good. 9 days! We got 9 days of drought. Well, that's fine. We got 1,400 water. We can keep pumping more without, you know, causing too many problems. We do somehow have 192 beavers. See, water beavers will do that to you. It's kind of ruthless in that regard. At least we can get these brambles cut back. We've got these trees. This is irrigating a small part of what we're doing here. So this is fine. Green peas. It's just like we can't keep enough food at all. Not even close. We're still doubled our mushroom output. We're still super low on mushrooms. Gonna have to have a whole mushroom district or something. Okay, so this is built. Now it's connected. And unfortunately, there's not any power that's really viable here because this can't rotate. And they only have a little bit of power left, which is not great. So really bad time for this to suddenly be finished. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to have to, you know, remind me that it's paused. But now I have to actually get this power connected, and that is going to be a whole can of worms. See, this has to be hooked up here. They haven't done that. This is going to come out. I'm going to have this hooked up. Oh, so this is the problem I was going to run into, is I didn't have a good way to get stuff connected because of how this was horizontal T-intersection. Where's my four-way? Okay, that's adaptive horizontal. What the heck is an adaptive horizontal power shaft? Downward T-intersection. See, I can't really do any of this. See, that just goes... I can't rely on what the model looks like either. Alright, well... This is about to be a really stupid thing to have to do. But I think it's, probably going to be best to just have this go, go down here and then connect. Maybe I'll have it cross right there. Just have this connect like that. I'm going to have to just finally research the vertical power shaft and just get it done. Get it over with. I do want to be able to have some storage. See, I talked about putting storage back here. But... this is the part of this playthrough where my brain just starts shutting down because there's way too much going on. What? I have to keep going. Okay, downward power shaft. The same thing. No, that actually can just be a regular set of platforms. That's going to be fine. Wait a minute. Don't have to do that. Because all we have to do is go over the path. That is what I should have done this entire time. Just had to make sure that was taken care of correctly. Okay, I do not know if I want to have any buildings that are going to use power over here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because we got way more important stuff to figure out. This is going to have to be replaced with a T intersection. So this is going to give us, connected here, is going to give us 100 HP, which is, you know, not a lot, but it is going to be good to have some amount of power, even if everything is operating at extremely low efficiency. Having some power is better than no power. And since we were already on the topic of, oh no, there's a no good connection to anything, we can go ahead and just move this over one and give ourselves a little tunnel under here to connect paths. Just little tiny improvements, one at a time. Just let these guys do what they've got to do. Okay. Food is still almost entirely rice balls. The solution to this is not to just continually say the food is all just rice balls. The solution is to just grow more food. I'm working on it. We're getting there. We're going to have to be growing more green peas. We do have some here, and those are going to go into other recipes. But one of the biggest problems is berries. Sunflower seeds seem to be improving. Mushrooms will help as that catches up. That's going to get us a lot more braised cabbage. then they can stop eating the actual cabbage, ideally. This is going to be the furthest reach of that. That's almost done. These probably aren't doing much of anything. Okay, good. I have this, and we are making metal fasteners, which means I can probably go ahead and put this zipline station add-on back on. Get that connected to there. And then I probably actually don't need this to be connected directly here, if that's a thing. But I might want to anyway. We already established this isn't going to reach. But it would not be too difficult to put a pylon somewhere right in the middle. Do I want to... See, that is... You're joking. These... Alright, well, I guess that's not happening. This is, like, too far. TWO, too far. TWO, TOO, far, to be perfectly clear. Now that I've said that 18 times. Okay, paper mill's done. We talked about that. So, I think this is the end of this tutorial tree. So it's giving us recommendations for where we want to go. Proper paper mill, which is what we did. Proper rope maker, that's another building we can do. Industrial kitchen is something we want to get into, you know, when we actually have stuff to put in the kitchen. And then deep pumping houses. 33% more efficient, etc. Okay, floodgate dams, I did mention that being a thing. What do I have this guy researching? Oh! It's done. Good. Well, not good that this guy's just been, you know, doing absolutely nothing this whole time because I didn't take the blueprint out of there, but, yeah, okay. Well, floodgate dam blueprints need to be fancified. So why don't we take a chance now to do that. I need to get that blueprint out of there, and then, well, you know, since we heard this guy doing gears. What do I want to research next? So we've already done that. Bureau of Intellectual Property. Okay, we already did that. Okay. Floodgate Dam, they want us to build one. I really don't know that that's, strictly speaking, necessary for what we're doing anymore. At least not what I was originally thinking about, you know, diverting bad water or whatever. I was trying to think. A couple people said that if we really want to increase power through these wheels, we can block off something over here, which I guess technically that would work. Yeah, if I think too hard, my brain's going to explode. Okay, we did this. Okay, why does that show up as a separate thing when I already have a Bureau of Intellectual Property here? Thank you, mute button, for containing the sneeze. So, I guess, fun little thing here, I have two of the exact same tutorials showing up. So, clearly, we need to build a scroll display. And, that's not the right button to push. At this point, I have kind of run out of excuses as to why this has not happened, so fine. I'll build one. Might as well, since we're already... Come on. Already here. I'm just going to save the fancy versions. You don't need to save the unfancy versions. So, zipline system, fancy blueprints, and then, where is... Oh, wow. What are the odds? Floodgate Dam fancy blueprints will be the next one we save. And yes, eventually we'll, you know, probably have some better spot to put those with better organization. But that's going to really help us keep tabs on stuff. And, is this connected? No, it is not, because I didn't put in the three-way. Okay, that arrow needs to be there. So that will allow us to get some power to, not that, to the sunflower oil boiler, which is not actually needed right now because it's not operating, because we don't have anywhere to put stuff. But I would like to have paper, please, and thank you. Of course, now we have over 200 beavers. So the food problem has only gotten worse. We've accomplished almost nothing. Okay, let's do that. Floodgate, fancy blueprints. Okay, final notice. Academic certification handling. Oh, there you go. So, we will need to do the ENS. And I don't think there's any new information here that I don't already know. Oh, okay, well, I'm glad this was addressed. I did actually lose a diploma, at least temporarily, in one of the previous playthroughs because of some weird district transfer stuff. So yes, availability of storage. And this was something that I was told in that playthrough, hey, you need to have storage for that. And I said, I don't need storage. And then, you know, guess what? I actually needed storage. So, be warned. And then, okay, so that takes care of that. For those of you who do not know, the ENS, oh, wow, I can't see that. I think I've said this already. We have to reduce the UI scaling, and then we'll be able to see everything. But this is the scientific big bad, if you will. We have to have a bunch of stuff. We have to have blueprints from both the Mechanics Lodge and the Architects Lodge to build this. Obviously, the incredibly compact library set, laboratory glassware, metal cauldron, and anvil to go into all these things. Then we make diplomas for various buildings, and it's a really fun time. We just got to get to it. What's this guy making still? Tar. That's probably fine to turn back into brain-boosting salts because that's actually giving our beavers something to do. We've got 8 zipline system fancy blueprints. I've got 2 floodgate dam fancy blueprints. We really don't need more than a couple of those. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to let them duplicate this one, and then I'm going to turn off the Copyist Lodge, because I think last playthrough I might have had like 40 floodgate dam blueprints I never used. Oh, so many things to keep on top of. So many things. And I know this is irritating the absolute 4-letter word out of a lot of you. Thank you for being here. I am glad you are here. It will get better soon. I should not promise. So I will just say I hope it gets better soon. Alright. Because I need paper so I can make more dynamite so I can do more cool stuff. Like expanding farmable area, connecting to the things down here, which I've said for several episodes I was going to do. But I need paper to do it, and paper is not going to come quickly enough if it takes 5 hours per sheet at the manual paper mill. So now, day 21. As soon as that ticks over, there it goes. I need that. No, I need this one to finish duplicating the floodgate dam blueprint, and then I can pause the building. And that was what I was waiting on. I clicked on the wrong building. And almost. Show me that 0. There. So now I've got 5 floodgate dam blueprints. These can be fancified. And then that building can be turned off. We'll put those in here. Like I said, I've got enough here. And see, that's working, that's working. Power is here. Demand is actually only 150 for this, really? Oh, this one's 100. And then this one is 50, even though it's not doing anything, but I'm not going to pause it because it's a house, and that turns into all sorts of annoying problems. Okay. I'm going to have to get a pylon in front of this and make our way across. If we want to keep the lumberjack's barn here, I don't know that I do. This might be better off as farming space, and we just grow the trees here and here. So I guess you let me know your thoughts on that and see what we might want to do. So I probably should move, if I'm going to do that, I should probably move these farmhouses to be about here-ish. And then at that point, we can, should we choose, put in another zipline something or other. Because the farmhouse, if we had one by itself, would actually be attachable to a like an irrigation thing or a whatever, and then we can put the zipline thing on top of it. If we did not want to have the assistant farmer upgrade, or if we wanted to really be precocious little, insert your favorite word here, we put 3 farmhouses next to each other, join 2 of them with the assistant farmer upgrade, and then join the remaining farmhouse to an irrigation station. And then, at that point, have a zipline attached to the top of it. We got options, and I also just realized we're about to pump this thing completely dry, which is not exactly what we want to be doing. Although, 3 days? How long does this last? 9 days? Okay. It's probably alright. So, okay, we're already at an hour. If you're still even watching this video, I'm kind of leaning toward removing this and just putting in more farms, because this is already the food growing area, and then doing exactly what I described, moving the farmhouses and putting the tic-tac-toe 3-in-a-row thing over here. So let me know if you think that's a really good idea. Let me know if you think it's a really stupid idea. Maybe more so let me know that than if you think it's a good idea, because I'm already leaning toward doing it. We'll see what else we can get ourselves into. I really want to expand the zip lines as much as I can, and I know I want to have connections across, maybe by way of the island here, and then across all of this, but I have to have some way of making it make sense that I fear I don't presently have the right state of mind to figure out. So yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to switch this back to making explosives now, because I've got nitroglycerin to do it. This is going to get sucked dry in about maybe half a day, and then these are going to start wilting, but that's fine. Yeah, you know, food has improved. I will say, food has improved. Just a tiny bit. And if we do, in fact, want to get into cereal bars, which, you know, I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying we can't right now. We will need more farmable space. And I think it just makes sense for it to be here. Mushrooms are still a problem. Man, I cannot. You know, maybe I should just put more mushrooms here. I did say I was going to grow some trees over here, and I still haven't done that either. But this should be a little bit of a better situation. Okay, now we're out of pine resin. This is probably not enough pine trees to do pine resin. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move this to where the tapper's flag is closer. Oh, that gave me all of 2 trees. Alright, okay, oh, you guys are gonna be so mad. Here's what I have to do. I have to move this so the upward power shaft is facing here. And then instead, pop this here, so I can try to get a little bit more space. This guy, yeah, look at that. Okay, that was actually worth doing. I was mostly just joking, but that actually did improve stuff. Of course, it's disconnected now, and I was crying about it, but that's fine. This can still reach all these trees here. Something tells me we're going to be going through the pine resin faster than it's worth having storage for it. I already have some storage, but it's not here. Where is my pine resin storage? I don't remember. Is it over here? It's probably over here. I can't tell. Alright, well, that's inconvenient. Well, these trees are already not growing here anyway. Let's just rebuild that storage. Ye old crappy warehouse. Just pop that in there. Is this reconnected yet? No, it's not. Part of me wants this to also be expanded here, but I don't have any more room for it. We're not gathering all of the chestnuts because the chestnuts are full. This is about to go away. It's only 1 day left. That's fine. Oh, so many little problems to fix. So many to fix. Pause the artist lodge. Yeah. See, I've got rice I can't do anything with because I can't store any more rice balls. So you know, if we were making cereal bars, we'd also be using rice, but I have to be able to have... Anyway, I don't need to sell you on the idea any more than I already have, because you've probably already made your mind up at this point. I got in this episode because I feel like my brain's going 10 million miles an hour in all the worst possible ways, and nothing of value is going to be accomplished if I continue from this point. So, I'm glad you're here. Despite this being a really frantic, kind of disjointed nonsense episode, that's just how things go sometimes. And we still, to be perfectly clear, have gotten a lot of good stuff done. It's just been, you know, maybe a little bit more chaotic than it should have been. But, you know, we've got more trees planting. We've discussed a couple other strategies. We've got paper up. Well, technically not up and running, but we've got paper improved, theoretically. And we're on a decent trajectory to get a bunch of other stuff taken care of. We just need to start building out the rest of this whole production network now that we can duplicate stuff like anvils and all that other jazz. Should get a little bit easier sometime soon. And I know we got to do medium mines. We'll get there. But it's just going to take time. And I appreciate you watching these videos and giving your helpful feedback, or just being here, being present. That is more than enough. I'm always going to be thankful for those of you who support the channel. Beard Boosters, you see the names already. They are, for better or for worse, the direct enablers of this exact style of content, where we don't have to worry quite so much about chasing the algorithm or any of that noise. Just having fun playing with beavers on the internet and doing what we want to do the way we want to do it. So now that we are about to start cycle 16, it's time to say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next episode. So whatever you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.